Are you shackled by the invisible chains of trauma, struggling to break free while the past silently dictates your present? In this book, we delve deep into the shadows of your emotional landscape, illuminating the hidden wounds that hinder your well-being and ambitions. This book serves as more than just a guide. It's a transformative journey toward understanding and healing the psychological scars that may hold you captive. Prepare to uncover the layers of your experience, confront painful truths, and reclaim the power that's rightfully yours. Emotional Freedom: How to Release Trauma's Grip on Your Life, written and published by Mindset Liberation. Chapter 1: Breaking the Chains of Emotional Pain. Emotional pain is a silent epidemic, creeping into the lives of countless individuals and leaving devastation in its wake. It transforms into an insidious companion, often mistaken for normality, yet it relentlessly undermines mental well-being. This hidden anguish has origins deeply embedded in life experiences, traumas that range from childhood abuse to the loss of a loved one, each event carving indentations into the psyche. For many, the struggle with emotional pain feels like an unending burden, a weight that distorts joy and clouds aspirations. Research suggests that nearly 50% of adults will experience a mental health issue at some point in their lives, often linked to unresolved emotional pain. A study by the American Psychological Association reveals that those who encounter trauma are significantly more likely to experience mood disorders. These alarming statistics illuminate a reality that, while uncomfortable, demands attention and acknowledgement. Each number represents a human being wrestling with anguish, many feeling isolated in their suffering. Such pain is not a mark of weakness, but rather a testament to the profound impact of life's trials. In reality, emotional pain often stems from formative experiences. Picture a child who is constantly criticized, leading to a belief that their worth fluctuates with external validation. These early impressions become the foundation on which adult self-esteem is built, often resulting in a fragile sense of self. As the years pass, the emotional wounds fester, lurking just below the surface, influencing relationships and decision-making in ways that are rarely recognized. An adult may enter a committed relationship, but find themselves consistently feeling unworthy or afraid of abandonment, a direct echo of those childhood experiences. It's a cycle that perpetuates itself, trapping individuals in a cruel loop of emotional suffering. Consider the story of Sarah, who faced profound emotional pain after a traumatic breakup. Instead of processing her grief, she buried her feelings under layers of busyness and distraction. Over time, the unresolved emotions began to manifest physically, leading to anxiety attacks and an inability to form new relationships. Sarah's journey illustrates the common outcome when emotional pain is ignored. Her story resonates with many who feel they are drowning in their private battles. This is not uncommon. Many people live in the shadow of their emotional experiences, not fully able to distinguish where the pain of the past ends and the potential joys of the future begin. The truth is that recognizing emotional pain is the first step toward liberation. Ignoring it only allows it to fester and grow, influencing every decision and interaction. By acknowledging this pain as a significant force in life, you're on the path to healing. Accepting that these experiences do not define you is essential. Rather, they are chapters in your story that can be rewritten. This re-acknowledgement brings power back into your hands, transforming the narrative from one of victimhood to one of resilience and recovery. As we embark on this journey together, it's time to confront the truth. You have the ability to break free from these emotional chains. Let us delve deeper into understanding the origins and impacts of trauma as we take the first steps toward emotional freedom. Reclaim your narrative and step into a future where pain no longer dictates your life. The scars of emotional pain extend deeply into various facets of life, shaping emotions, decision-making, relationships, and self-esteem in profound ways. This hidden influence often goes unnoticed, lurking beneath the surface and manifesting in subtle yet damaging ways. For instance, unresolved emotional pain can lead to a pervasive sense of unease and negativity. Individuals often find themselves battling chronic anxiety or intense bouts of sadness that seem inexplicable. The emotional turbulence can skew perspectives, making it difficult to appreciate the goodness in life and fostering a pervasive sense of disconnection. Decision-making becomes a minefield when emotional pain dictates the thought process. An individual may face choices clouded by fear, doubt, and an overwhelming desire to avoid further hurt. For example, consider Jake, a once confident professional who experienced a significant betrayal at work. Following this betrayal, Jake became risk-averse, opting for the mundane and familiar rather than pursuing new opportunities. When faced with potential promotions or changes, his instinct was to retreat, prioritizing safety over growth. This pattern feeds into a cycle of stagnation, reinforcing feelings of inadequacy and intensifying the emotional pain rather than alleviating it. Relationships also bear the heavy burden of emotional pain. Individuals grappling with unresolved issues often project their fears onto their partners, creating an environment of mistrust and insecurity. A poignant illustration is the experience of Mia, who, after enduring emotional neglect in her family life, entered adulthood believing she was unlovable. This belief pervaded her interactions, leaving her unable to accept affection or express vulnerability in her romantic relationships. Instead of cultivating closeness, she inadvertently pushed her partners away, consistently questioning their intentions and damaging her connections. Her story highlights how deep-seated pain fuels relational dysfunction, causing individuals to sabotage their own happiness. Self-esteem is intricately linked to emotional pain. The deep-rooted messages internalized from traumatic experiences, such as, "I am not enough" or "I do not deserve love," become a dominant lens through which individuals view themselves. Dr. Brené Brown's research on vulnerability reveals that those with low self-esteem often misinterpret love and kindness as conditional, perpetuating their emotional distress. This occurs when individuals like David, who faced bullying in childhood, wear their trauma as a badge of shame, feeling unworthy of the very love and support they crave. Such distorted self-perceptions obstruct personal growth and fulfillment, trapping them in a vicious cycle of despair. Understanding why people fall for the grip of emotional pain is crucial. Often, it stems from the brain's natural inclination to protect itself. The concept of neuroplasticity indicates that the mind becomes conditioned to react to certain stimuli in predictable ways to avoid further emotional distress. This survival mechanism, though intended to shield individuals from pain, paradoxically anchors them to the very experiences they wish to escape. Consequently, the grip of emotional pain tightens, ensnaring individuals in cycles of avoidance, resentment, and fear. As we navigate these difficult truths, it is imperative to recognize the significance of awareness in breaking free from the shackles of emotional pain. The journey of healing begins with acknowledging these patterns, providing clarity and direction. Stay with me as we embark further into this exploration, where the next segment will shed light on the hidden warning signs that most people overlook. Awareness is the first step toward liberation, and understanding these indicators can be transformational on your path to emotional freedom. The manifestations of emotional pain can be subtle and pervasive, weaving themselves into the very fabric of everyday life. Its effects are often experienced in a range of negative emotional states, including chronic sadness, anxiety, and feelings of isolation. These symptoms can manifest in both physical and psychological ways, creating a complex tapestry that fuels ongoing distress. Take, for instance, the situation of Laura, who outwardly appeared to lead a successful life. A rising star in her career, she was admired for her capabilities and charm. Yet beneath her polished exterior lay a relentless tide of self-doubt and pervasive sadness that she could not shake. Every achievement felt hollow, a facade maintaining her identity while the emotional pain lingered, waiting to emerge at the opportune moment. Another common manifestation is avoidance, which often becomes a coping strategy for dealing with emotional pain. When faced with reminders of past trauma, individuals like Michael may isolate themselves, choosing to withdraw from social situations or opportunities for growth. While this behavior may provide temporary relief, it ultimately exacerbates feelings of loneliness and despair. Michael's experiences highlight how avoidance behaviors can create a cycle where fear reinforces emotional pain, leading to a life confined by self-imposed boundaries. To recognize these trends is to embrace a crucial part of the healing process. The first step in addressing emotional pain lies in awareness. This acknowledgement serves as a bridge from the shadows of emotional turmoil to the beginnings of recovery. Individuals must learn to connect their feelings to past experiences, recognizing when their reactions may stem from unresolved trauma. Engaging in reflection allows for personal insights, opening the door to profound transformation. Understanding one's emotional responses arms individuals with the knowledge necessary to disrupt negative patterns and forge healthier paths forward. Case studies also illuminate this process. Consider Nina, who confronted persistent feelings of anger that often erupted during even trivial disagreements. After reflecting on her past, Nina recognized that her anger was a defense mechanism rooted in experiences of betrayal during her formative years. This realization led her to seek professional guidance and engage in open, honest dialogues with loved ones. By unpacking these emotions and acknowledging their origins, Nina embarked on a journey toward healing, transforming her relationships and her sense of self. Recognizing these manifestations isn't merely an intellectual exercise. It's a vital step toward reclaiming power over one's life. By understanding how emotional pain manifests, individuals can begin dismantling the barriers it creates. Empowered with knowledge, they become equipped to confront their inner struggles and seek appropriate interventions. Healing is not a destination. It is a continuous journey demanding courage and self-compassion. As we conclude this exploration of emotional pain and its manifestations, it is crucial to highlight the next stage of our journey together. In the following chapter, we will delve into understanding trauma and its hidden impacts, gaining insights that can encourage profound change. This exploration is designed to illuminate the often overlooked ways trauma shapes our lives and choices, ultimately guiding us toward emotional independence. Before we leap into this critical discussion, I invite you to share your thoughts and experiences with emotional pain. Your stories foster community and illuminate paths for others on similar journeys. If you find value in our exploration, consider subscribing to Mindset Liberation and liking this video. Your feedback is instrumental in shaping the conversations we have and the content we create together. A deeper understanding of mental health is the precursor to healing, and I'm excited to embark on this journey with you. Chapter 2. Understanding Trauma and Its Hidden Impact. Trauma often hides in plain sight, weaving itself into the fabric of our lives while leaving an indelible mark on our emotional and psychological health. To understand trauma is to unlock the door to profound healing. It is a journey toward recognition, a path we can all tread in pursuit of emotional freedom and resilience. A staggering statistic from the National Institute of Mental Health reveals that nearly 70% of adults in the United States have experienced some form of traumatic event in their lives, underscoring the urgency of addressing this pervasive issue. The reality is that trauma is not a solitary experience. It reverberates through relationships, choices, and overall well-being, making it imperative to acknowledge its presence in our lives. Trauma can emerge from various sources, including but not limited to childhood abuse, domestic violence, natural disasters, and sudden loss. These experiences can fundamentally alter how individuals perceive themselves and the world around them. Dr. Judith Herman, a renowned psychiatrist specializing in trauma, suggests that the effects are profound and far-reaching, affecting a person's sense of safety, self-worth, and ability to form healthy connections. Understanding the hidden impacts of trauma illuminates the complexity of its effects and instills a sense of agency within those who feel trapped by their past. Consider the story of Alex, a young adult who thrived in academics yet struggled in social situations. His hesitance to engage with peers stemmed from childhood trauma rooted in bullying. The echoes of those painful experiences created an invisible barrier that kept Alex from forming meaningful connections, leaving him feeling isolated and insecure. Until he recognized the impact of his trauma, he felt powerless. However, once he became aware of its origins, he began to understand that his reactions were rooted in experiences long past. This realization empowered him to challenge his fears head-on, fostering personal growth and a renewed sense of hope. Research indicates that trauma can affect brain functioning, significantly impairing memory, emotional regulation, and decision-making. A study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) highlights that individuals who have experienced trauma are at a greater risk for developing mood disorders, including anxiety and depression. These findings underscore the importance of recognizing trauma as a foundational element of mental health issues. When individuals understand that their emotional responses are not abrupt, but instead connected to their past experiences, they are better equipped to navigate their feelings and reclaim their power. The capacity to transform one's mindset lies in gaining insight into the origins of trauma. It nurtures resilience, enabling individuals to confront painful experiences instead of remaining shackled by them. Acknowledging trauma as a common human experience fosters a sense of solidarity among those grappling with its effects. This chapter aims to inspire hope, reassuring you that you are not defined by your past. Embracing this understanding allows you to shed feelings of isolation and take control of your healing journey. As we delve deeper into the impacts of trauma, we will uncover the various ways it has shaped your emotional landscape and explore actionable strategies for reprogramming your mind. Understanding your personal history is the gateway to transformation, illuminating pathways toward healing, connection, and ultimately, freedom. You possess the strength to forge ahead, and the next section promises to equip you with the tools to navigate this journey. Together, we will challenge the narratives that no longer serve you and embrace the possibility of a brighter, more empowered future. Understanding trauma's impact is only the first step toward healing. The real transformation occurs when effective methods are applied to address the roots of emotional pain. One of the most effective approaches in overcoming trauma is through trauma-informed therapy, which prioritizes safety, trustworthiness, empowerment, and collaboration. This method focuses not only on the symptoms, but also on the contextual factors surrounding an individual's experience. By recognizing that trauma does not solely define a person, this therapeutic approach empowers individuals to regain control over their lives, facilitating a healthier relationship with their past. Scientific research has validated the effectiveness of trauma-informed principles in producing positive outcomes for individuals who have experienced trauma. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology found that participants who engaged in trauma-informed therapy reported significant reductions in symptoms of depression and anxiety over a 6-month period. These findings are particularly compelling because they demonstrate that transforming one's relationship with trauma can have lasting effects on mental well-being. The study underscores that by addressing trauma holistically, individuals can rebuild their emotional resilience and foster a sense of empowerment, reshaping how they navigate their lives. To illustrate the power of trauma-informed therapy, let us consider the transformative journey of Maria. After enduring years of emotional neglect and abuse, Maria carried the weight of her trauma like an anchor, dragging her down into a sea of despair. Her breakthrough came when she sought the help of a trauma-informed therapist who emphasized the importance of safety and empowerment. Through this therapeutic process, Maria learned to identify and articulate her feelings, gaining insight into how her past influenced her present behavior. By creating an environment where she felt safe to explore difficult emotions, her therapist facilitated a sense of trust that was crucial for Maria's healing. The progress Maria made is a testament to the effectiveness of trauma-informed approaches. Over time, she began to challenge the distorted beliefs she held about herself, such as feeling unworthy of love or incapable of achieving her goals. Armed with new tools and insights, Maria stepped outside her comfort zone, gradually becoming more assertive in her personal and professional lives. The shift wasn't always linear. Setbacks occurred, but with a supportive framework in place, she navigated them with increased resilience and self-compassion. Ultimately, Maria transformed from a survivor into a thriver, using her experiences to advocate for others and foster community around trauma awareness. The urgency in learning and applying these methods cannot be overstated. By embracing a trauma-informed approach, individuals can dismantle the barriers imposed by their pasts. Instead of remaining trapped in cycles of fear and pain, they can cultivate a sense of agency and hope for the future. Recognizing the pervasive effects of trauma and having access to effective strategies for healing gives individuals the confidence to confront their emotional wounds head-on. As we continue our exploration, it will become increasingly evident how critical it is to honor one's journey of healing. In the next section, we will uncover practical strategies for releasing emotional baggage, enabling you to further your growth and progress as you move beyond the shadows of trauma. This insight will empower you to embrace a future filled with possibility and joy, embracing your journey toward emotional freedom. Remember, every step you take brings you closer to reclaiming your life and unleashing your true potential. As we journey deeper into understanding trauma and its impact, it's time to transform insight into action. Implementing a trauma-informed approach requires practical steps that foster personal growth and emotional healing. The key is to commit to these techniques regularly, allowing yourself to develop a newfound sense of agency and resilience. Start by creating a safe space for yourself. This could be a dedicated area in your home, a cozy corner where you feel secure and calm. Make this space inviting with elements that bring you comfort, such as soft lighting, plants, or inspirational quotes. Ensuring this environment is free of distractions can help you focus on the work ahead. Next, practice grounding techniques that can bring you into the present moment. One effective exercise is to utilize the 5 senses. Take a few minutes each day to identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This practice helps create a connection to the here and now, offering you a respite from overwhelming feelings. Over time, this simple exercise can transform your emotional state, anchoring you in stability. Another valuable method is to maintain a trauma journal, which serves as a cathartic outlet for emotional expression. Set aside time each day or week to write down your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Aim to explore your experiences, focusing on memories that surface and their connection to your present. This process not only provides clarity, but allows you to track patterns over time, revealing insights that can catalyze healing. As you fill your journal, celebrate small victories. Each entry is a testament to your courage and progress, reinforcing your commitment to healing. Mind shifts are equally crucial in this process. Begin to challenge negative beliefs by reframing your internal dialogue. When a thought arises such as "I am unworthy," counter it with positive affirmations like, "I am deserving of love and happiness." Incorporate these affirmations into your daily routine, perhaps by writing them down or repeating them first thing upon waking. This practice can gradually shift your mindset, helping you to cultivate a healthier self-image. To encourage accountability, consider joining a support group, whether in person or online, where you can share your journey with others. Listening to shared experiences can be incredibly affirming, reminding you that you are not alone. Participating in discussions and offering support to others can illuminate paths of healing for both you and your newfound community. As this chapter draws to a close, remember that embracing these actionable steps creates momentum and progress. The journey to understanding and overcoming trauma is a vital one, and you have the power to drive this transformation. Each small win builds to larger victories, fueling your confidence and resilience. In the next chapter, we will delve into the transformative process of releasing emotional baggage, unlocking the chains of the past that bind you. This journey will equip you with the tools necessary to lighten your load and pave the way for a brighter, more liberated future. I'm excited to embark on this exploration with you, and I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences. Don't forget to subscribe to Mindset Liberation, like this video, and share your personal stories or suggestions for future discussions. Your feedback is invaluable in shaping our collective journey toward healing and empowerment. Let's keep moving forward together, one step at a time. Chapter 3. Rewriting Your Story for Inner Peace. Every person carries a narrative, an internal script that influences how they perceive themselves and their place in the world. The power to rewrite this story is a vital tool in the journey toward inner peace. By consciously reassessing and reframing past experiences, individuals can liberate themselves from the limits imposed by their trauma and begin to craft a more empowering narrative. This chapter offers the keys to unlocking this transformative process, teaching you that you are not merely a product of your past, but a creator of your future. The notion of rewriting one's story is rooted in the principles of narrative therapy, an approach that emphasizes the significance of personal storytelling in shaping identity and experience. Research has shown that engaging with one's narrative can lead to profound emotional breakthroughs. For example, a meta-analysis published in the journal Psychotherapy found that individuals who participated in narrative therapy reported significant reductions in symptoms of depression and anxiety. Recognizing that the act of retelling and reframing one's story can lead to healing is a liberating realization. Consider the case of Ethan, a young man who grew up feeling invisible in his family. Throughout his childhood, he perceived itself as unimportant, often feeling overshadowed by siblings who received more attention. These feelings became internalized, affecting his self-esteem and relationships in adulthood. With the guidance of a therapist, Ethan began to reassess his childhood narrative. Instead of seeing himself as unworthy of love, he reframed his experiences, recognizing his strengths and resilience. He began to understand that his voice mattered and that he had the agency to assert his needs. This shift in perspective sparked a transformation in how he interacted with others, leading to healthier relationships and a renewed sense of self-worth. The journey of rewriting your story is not merely about altering perceptions. It's about reclaiming your identity. It involves confronting uncomfortable truths and understanding how they have shaped your current beliefs and behaviors. As you reflect on your life experiences, recognize patterns that no longer serve you. Acknowledge how you have allowed previous narratives to dictate your self-worth and motivations. This process is akin to rewriting a screenplay. As the author of your life, you have the power to edit out the chapters that no longer align with who you wish to become. The impact of these reframing exercises cannot be overstated. According to Dr. Michael White, a leading figure in narrative therapy, the stories we tell ourselves can either empower or confine us. When we actively engage in rewriting our narratives, we create space for alternative interpretations that highlight our strengths and resilience. This transformative act has the potential to yield healing on emotional and psychological levels, allowing us to let go of the burdens of our past. As you embark on the path to rewrite your story, envision the potential for growth and renewal. You hold the pen, and with each new word you write, you step closer to a life of inner peace. The act of rewriting is not just therapeutic, it's profoundly liberating, assuring you that you can shape your future and reclaim your narrative with confidence and resolve. In the next section, we will explore valuable techniques for releasing emotional baggage, enabling you to lighten your load as you embrace your rewritten story. This journey is a vital step toward achieving emotional freedom. As we move forward, remember that each stroke of the pen brings you closer to the life you desire. Embrace your power as the author of your own story, and let's continue this transformative adventure together. Rewriting your story as a method of healing is effective because it allows individuals to take active control of their narratives, fostering a sense of ownership over their experiences. By engaging in this reframing process, you can challenge the limiting beliefs that have been formed from past trauma, ultimately breaking free from self-imposed constraints. This approach builds psychological resilience and empowers individuals to reshape their self-perception, leading to improved emotional health and better coping strategies. Scientific research supports the efficacy of this method. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology found that individuals who engaged in narrative therapy experienced significant improvements in their mental well-being, including reductions in anxiety and depressive symptoms. The research underscores how storytelling serves as a powerful therapeutic tool, allowing individuals to externalize their experiences. By articulating their narratives, participants were better able to evaluate and take control of their feelings and reactions, illustrating just how transformative this process can be. The story of Clara exemplifies the potency of rewriting one's narrative. After enduring a painful divorce, Clara found herself engulfed in feelings of failure and despair. Stuck in a loop of self-blame and resentment, she struggled to see any potential for happiness in her future. Seeking support, she began to work with a therapist who introduced her to the practice of narrative reframing. At first, Clara felt resistant to the idea of re-examining her story, believing that her circumstances defined her. However, as she engaged more deeply with the process, she began to articulate her feelings, identifying key moments that shaped her mindset. Through writing exercises and reflective conversations, Clara started to reshape her narrative. Instead of viewing her divorce as a personal failure, she began to see it as a necessary stepping stone toward discovering her authentic self. This shift allowed her to recognize her resilience and strengths. With each session, she reclaimed the process of narrating her life, reinforcing her belief that her past did not dictate her future. Clara's journey highlights that the process of rewriting one's story enables transformative insights, showcasing individuals' inner strength. Shifting one's narrative not only has emotional benefits, but also fosters a more constructive mindset. By viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, individuals can cultivate a greater sense of agency over their lives. Dr. James Pennebaker, a leading psychologist noted for his work on the benefits of expressive writing, asserts that putting thoughts into words provides a safe space for emotional processing and boosts psychological well-being. Expressing feelings through writing or conversation can lead to catharsis and clarity, enabling individuals to confront their truths and move forward. The urgency in adopting this method lies in its potential to catalyze profound growth and healing. By taking action to rewrite your story, you are taking the reins of your life and steering it toward a more hopeful and empowered narrative. This process is an invitation to redefine how you relate to your past, replacing pain with lessons learned and resilience gained. As we look ahead, the next part of our exploration will focus on practical techniques for releasing the emotional baggage that has been accumulated through these past narratives. It's time to take these newfound insights and actively let go of what no longer serves you. Embrace the opportunity to shed the weight of old stories and step into a more liberated version of yourself. Together, let's illuminate the path toward emotional freedom and explore how to lighten your load for a brighter future. Now that you understand the transformative power of rewriting your story, it's time to take actionable steps to implement this method in your life. The key to success in this process lies in consistent practice and an open mind. Start by dedicating a portion of your day to reflect on pivotal moments in your life, specifically, those events that have shaped your current mindset. Choose a quiet space where you can focus and write without distractions. Begin with a brief journaling exercise. Write down 3 significant life events that you believe have influenced how you perceive yourself today. As you do this, be honest but gentle with yourself. The goal here isn't to judge your experiences, but to acknowledge them as part of your story. After listing these events, take a moment to reflect on the emotions associated with each one. Ask yourself questions such as, what did I learn from this experience? How did this shape my beliefs about myself? By practicing this reflective writing, you immediately begin to distill your narrative, creating a foundation to explore and shift it. The next step involves taking one of these significant events and rewriting it in a way that highlights your growth and strength. For instance, if the event relates to a failure or a difficult relationship, reframing it might involve recognizing the resilience you exhibited during that time. Rewrite the narrative focusing on what you overcame, the lessons learned, and how it has shaped a more empowered version of yourself. This exercise not only fosters self-compassion, but also reinforces your capacity for change. To deepen this process, consider creating a personal mantra based on your new story. A mantra is a short phrase that encapsulates the essence of your revised narrative. It could be something like, I am strong, I am worthy, and I learn from my past. Repeat this mantra regularly, especially during moments of doubt or when old narratives threaten to resurface. This practice reinforces the new beliefs you are cultivating and acts as a grounding reminder of your journey toward healing and empowerment. Another effective technique is visualization. Take a few minutes each day to vividly imagine your ideal life, the person you dream of becoming, free from the weight of old stories. Picture yourself embodying those qualities and living out your new narrative. Visualization can enhance motivation and instill a sense of possibility, making it a vital tool for achieving your desired transformation. Celebrate small wins along the way to maintain momentum. Acknowledge every step you take, whether it's writing a new section of your narrative, sharing your story with a trusted friend, or simply feeling a shift in your mindset. These small victories compound over time, providing the encouragement you need to continue pushing forward. As we conclude this chapter, remember that rewriting your story is a journey, not a destination. With each rewrite and each affirmation, you are taking tangible steps toward a more fulfilling life. The next chapter will dive into practical techniques for releasing emotional baggage, helping you to let go of the past and embrace a more liberated future. This exploration will equip you with the tools to lighten your load and step confidently into the next phase of your journey. Before we proceed, I invite you to engage with this content. Don't forget to subscribe to Mindset Liberation, like this video, and share your personal reflections or suggestions for future topics. Your participation enriches this community and strengthens our shared commitment to growth and healing. Together, let's continue to empower one another as we move forward on this path to emotional freedom. Chapter 4: Releasing Emotional Baggage to Heal. The journey to emotional freedom often feels encumbered by burdens we carry from the past, manifesting in the form of emotional baggage that weighs heavily on our hearts and minds. Releasing this baggage is not just a cathartic exercise, it is a profound act of self-liberation. This chapter will guide you through the essential process of letting go, illuminating the path to healing and reclaiming your emotional well-being. Identifying and releasing harmful emotions isn't merely an idealistic goal, it's a powerful strategy backed by psychological research and practical methods. Emotional baggage can arise from various sources, including unresolved traumas, toxic relationships, or unmet expectations. According to the American Psychological Association, about 70% of adults experience at least one traumatic event in their lifetime, making emotional baggage a common issue. These burdens can intertwine with daily life, influencing decisions and relationships, often without conscious awareness. Recognizing the prevalence of this issue inspires hope. If the struggle is widespread, so too are the pathways to healing. One of the most compelling insights comes from the field of psychology, where studies indicate that unresolved emotions can negatively impact mental and physical health. A study published in the journal Health Psychology discovered that individuals with unresolved emotional conflicts were more prone to stress-related illnesses, such as cardiovascular issues and immune system dysfunction. These findings underscore the importance of addressing and releasing emotional baggage, not only for psychological clarity, but for holistic well-being. Consider the story of James, a man who carried the weight of resentment stemming from a difficult childhood. Growing up in a volatile home environment, James learned to suppress his feelings to maintain peace. As an adult, this emotional suppression backfired, manifesting as anxiety and strained relationships. It wasn't until he began to confront his history, engaging in therapeutic practices aimed at releasing emotional baggage, that he started to experience real change. Through guided therapy, James was able to articulate his suppressed feelings and recognize their influence on his present self. This journey of acknowledgement was transformative, allowing him to shed the heavy cloak of resentment he had worn for years. Releasing emotional baggage is a multifaceted approach that allows individuals to regain control over their feelings and responses. It involves the delicate process of recognizing harmful patterns while creating new, healthier coping mechanisms. Experts recommend several effective techniques for this release, such as journaling, mindfulness practices, and expressive arts. Journaling, in particular, can be a powerful tool. By writing down emotions and experiences, individuals externalize their feelings, making it easier to process and reflect on them. This act of putting pen to paper helps clarify thoughts and distill feelings, providing a key to unlocking emotional traps. Additionally, engaging in mindfulness practices can cultivate a heightened awareness of emotional states. When you acknowledge and observe your feelings without judgment, you create space for healing. This encourages a compassionate relationship with oneself, allowing for the release of negative emotions rather than allowing them to linger unchecked. The urgency in adopting these practices cannot be overstated. Releasing emotional baggage is not merely a ritual. It is a crucial step toward living fully and authentically. As you begin this process, you empower yourself to create a life free from the constraints of the past, embracing a future filled with possibility and growth. In the next section, we will explore practical strategies and exercises that can facilitate this release, equipping you with the tools you need to lighten your load. This journey toward healing is one of profound significance, and I am honored to walk alongside you as you uncover the freedom that awaits. Remember, each step you take is a declaration of your commitment to reclaiming your emotional well-being. Together, let's pave the way for a brighter, baggage-free future. Releasing emotional baggage is a profoundly effective method for overcoming the constraints that past experiences impose on our present lives. The core of this effectiveness lies in the concept of emotional regulation, the ability to recognize, understand, and respond appropriately to our feelings. This process allows individuals to move beyond the accumulation of pent-up emotions, freeing themselves from cyclical patterns of pain and resentment. Scientific research supports this approach, confirming that emotional release not only fosters mental clarity, but contributes to improved overall health. A pivotal study published in the journal Emotion highlights how expressive writing, a key technique in releasing emotional baggage, positively impacts psychological well-being. Participants who engaged in writing exercises reported decreased levels of anxiety and depression, along with increased emotional insight. This research underscores the notion that articulating emotions can lead not only to catharsis, but also to cognitive restructuring. When individuals express their feelings, they process the myriad experiences associated with them, allowing for a more profound understanding of their emotional landscapes. This newfound clarity enables healthier emotional responses, reinforcing the urgency of adopting such practices. Take the inspiring case of Sophie, who struggled with feelings of inadequacy and shame stemming from a difficult relationship with her parents. For years, she had buried these emotions, convinced that suppressing them would help her cope. However, this avoidance only exacerbated her struggles, leading to anxiety and a sense of disconnection from her own life. After attending a workshop on emotional release, Sophie learned how to express her feelings through journaling and art. This shift proved transformational. By giving herself permission to explore her emotions, she began to untangle the threads of her past, ultimately discovering the strength she had always possessed. Sophie's journey illustrates how reclaiming the process of emotional expression allows individuals to redefine their relationship with their experiences. Rather than being captured by them, she learned how to transcend them. Her story reveals that emotional release is not merely a therapeutic exercise. It's a vital component of self-care that cultivates resilience. As Sophie engaged more deeply in these practices, she found herself better equipped to navigate challenges, transforming her mindset from one of despair to one of empowerment. The urgency for action in this arena cannot be overstated. When you choose to release emotional baggage, you are not simply alleviating discomfort, you are fundamentally changing the trajectory of your life. Engaging in this process enables you to cultivate a sense of agency and control, liberating yourself from the emotional burdens that can otherwise weigh you down. Furthermore, recognizing the significance of emotional healing fosters a deeper understanding that connections form not just with others, but with oneself. In embracing these methods, you empower not only your mental health, but your entire being. The ability to articulate emotions and confront past experiences is a profound act of courage and self-love. Taking the step to unburden yourself from the shadows of the past signals a commitment to a brighter and freer future. As we progress to the next segment, we will explore specific techniques that can facilitate emotional release in practical, actionable ways. These tools aim to equip you with the necessary strategies to lighten your emotional load, empowering you to step into a new chapter of your life, free from the weight of old stories. Remember that every effort you make toward emotional clarity is a step toward reclaiming your life. Together, let's embark on this transformative journey toward emotional liberation. Now that you have grasped the significance of releasing emotional baggage, it's time to take decisive steps to implement this transformative method in your daily life. Releasing emotional baggage is an active process that requires intention and practice to foster positive change. Start by setting aside a dedicated time each day to engage in exercises that promote emotional release. This commitment can build a routine that reinforces your progress, making emotional well-being an integral part of your life. One effective exercise to begin with is the emotional check-in. Allocate 10 minutes daily to assess your feelings. Sit in a quiet space and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths to center yourself, allowing your mind to settle. As you breathe, ask yourself, what emotions am I experiencing right now? As feelings arise, write them down without judgment. This exercise cultivates awareness of your emotional landscape, offering a tangible representation of your inner world. Recognizing and naming emotions is the first step in releasing them. Celebrate this small win, as acknowledging your feelings is a powerful stride toward healing. Next, embrace the technique of letting go through visualization. Begin by identifying a specific memory or emotion that feels burdensome. Once you have identified it, find a comfortable, quiet place. Picture yourself holding this burden as a heavy object. With each breath, visualize it becoming lighter. Imagine releasing this weight, whether by casting it into the wind or placing it in a balloon that floats away. This mental exercise allows you to symbolically detach from the emotional baggage, transforming your relationship with it. Regularly practicing this visualization can offer a profound sense of relief and empowerment. Another powerful method is creating an emotional release ritual. Gather materials that resonate with you. This could be paper, colored pens, or art supplies. Set aside time to express your feelings creatively. Write letters to your past self, draw your emotions, or create a collage that represents your journey. This ritual serves as a therapeutic outlet, allowing buried feelings to surface in constructive ways. As you engage in this process, recognize that every brushstroke, word, or cut shapes your narrative toward healing. In tandem with these exercises, consider implementing positive affirmations as a mind shift technique. Construct affirmations that resonate with your growth journey, such as, "I release what no longer serves me," or "I am worthy of emotional freedom." Repeat these affirmations to yourself, especially during moments of self-doubt or when old feelings resurface. This practice reinforces the belief that you possess the strength to move forward and shed emotional burdens. Remember to celebrate every small victory you achieve throughout this journey. Whether it's completing an emotional check-in, successfully visualizing a release, or expressing feelings through art, recognize the significance of these steps. Acknowledging your progress fosters motivation and a sense of accomplishment, reinforcing your commitment to emotional freedom. As we reach the end of this chapter, prepare for an exciting exploration ahead. In the next chapter, we will delve into rebuilding self-worth after trauma, providing you with actionable strategies and insights that will empower you to cultivate a strong sense of value and confidence. Your journey toward healing is just beginning, and I invite you to focus on the growth that lies ahead. Before we transition, I encourage you to engage with this material. If you found value in our discussion, please subscribe to Mindset Liberation, like this video, and share your thoughts or suggestions. Your insights contribute to our shared journey, creating a vibrant community committed to healing and empowerment. Let's continue forging this path together, step by step, toward a brighter future and emotional liberation. Chapter 5. Rebuilding Self-Worth After Trauma. Rebuilding self-worth after trauma is not just a goal. It is a powerful transformation that can redefine your life. Trauma can shatter our self-perception, often leaving behind whispers of self-doubt and inadequacy. However, you possess the strength to reclaim your self-worth, and this chapter will guide you through the essential steps to restore your sense of value and affirmation. As you embark on this journey, remember that your worth is inherent and cannot be diminished by past experiences. The journey to rediscover it is filled with hope and possibility. Trauma can stem from various life events, including abuse, loss, and betrayal. A survey conducted by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration reveals that nearly 25% of adults have endured some form of trauma that significantly impacts their mental health. Unfortunately, these experiences are often internalized, leading individuals to believe they are somehow unworthy or flawed. The statistics speak to a larger truth. The vastness of this struggle is a shared human experience, and you're not alone in your feelings. In psychological terms, trauma can lead to what is known as negative self-schema, a construct shaping how one views oneself based on endured experiences. Dr. Judith Herman, a pioneer in trauma studies, explains that survivors frequently internalize the narratives of their trauma, leading to a distorted self-image. In her book, Trauma and Recovery, she emphasizes that this disconnection from the self negates the individual's inherent worth. Recognizing the psychological implications of trauma is essential. It empowers you to separate yourself from the pain and reclaim your identity. Consider the impactful story of Rachel, who experienced emotional abuse in a previous relationship. For years, she found herself trapped in cycles of self-doubt, believing she was unlovable and inadequate. This belief permeated every aspect of her life, leading to anxiety and hesitation in pursuing her goals. With the determination to heal, Rachel sought therapy and began the challenging but rewarding journey of rebuilding her self-worth. Through consistent effort, she learned to identify the cognitive distortions that stemmed from her trauma, replacing them with affirmations of her inherent value. As she processed her experiences, Rachel steadily transformed her narrative from one of despair to one of empowerment, demonstrating that rebuilding self-worth is indeed possible. The process of reconstructing your self-worth begins with self-awareness. Start by acknowledging the ways trauma has influenced your self-image. Journaling can be a beneficial tool in this phase. Write down negative beliefs or thoughts that surface when you think about your worth. Consciously confront these thoughts, recognizing them as reflections of past pain rather than truths about your character. This awareness serves as the bedrock upon which you will build your renewed self-image. Challenging negative self-talk is another vital step on this journey. Consider employing cognitive restructuring techniques where you replace negative thoughts with more balanced, affirming statements. For instance, if you find yourself thinking, "I am not good enough," challenge it by asserting, "I am worthy of love and respect." Practicing these affirmations daily can slowly penetrate the defenses built by trauma, ultimately shifting your mindset. Empowerment comes from action. Engage in activities that help you rediscover passions and strengths that may lie dormant after trauma. Whether it's creative expression, physical activity, or connecting with supportive friends, nurturing your interests contributes to a healthy self-image and enhances your overall well-being. As we move forward, the journey toward rebuilding self-worth can be transformative. Together, we will explore more techniques for fostering self-compassion and developing the inner strength necessary for this process. Remember, you have the power to reshape your narrative and reclaim your inherent value. With each step you take, you are affirming your worth and moving closer to the healing light of self-acceptance. The journey may be challenging, but the possibilities that lie ahead are endless. Rebuilding self-worth after trauma is an essential and transformative process that enables individuals to reclaim their identity and strength. The effectiveness of this method lies in its emphasis on personal empowerment and growth. When we actively engage in the steps necessary to rebuild our self-worth, we initiate a profound change in our mindset and outlook on life. Research indicates that a positive self-image is directly correlated with better mental health outcomes, productivity, and overall life satisfaction. Understanding the mechanisms behind this process can increase the urgency to adopt these strategies, driving home the need for action. One of the core components of rebuilding self-worth is the practice of self-compassion, which has been extensively studied in psychological research. According to Dr. Kristen Neff, a pioneering researcher in the field of self-compassion, treating ourselves with kindness rather than criticism can significantly enhance our resilience to stress and anxiety. Her findings suggest that when individuals embrace self-compassion, they are better equipped to overcome feelings of inadequacy and shame that often accompany trauma. This approach invites individuals to treat themselves with the same kindness they would extend to a close friend, fostering a nurturing internal dialogue that reinforces self-worth. Consider the inspiring journey of David, who faced a life-altering event when he lost a job he had dedicated years to. The sudden loss left him feeling undeserving and unworthy, significantly impacting his mental health. Initially, David struggled with negative self-talk, believing that he had failed. However, after discovering the concept of self-compassion, he began practicing exercises designed to cultivate this trait. He made a deliberate effort to replace self-critical thoughts with compassionate affirmations, reminding himself of his skills, strengths, and contributions. Over time, this shift in mindset allowed David to view his circumstances with greater clarity and optimism, ultimately leading him to pursue new opportunities that aligned with his passions. Scientific evidence supporting the effectiveness of self-compassion as a pathway to rebuilding self-worth further bolsters our understanding of this process. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who practiced self-compassion reported higher levels of life satisfaction and emotional resilience. This research highlights that self-compassion is not merely a feel-good concept. It serves as a potent tool for enhancing one's self-perception and capacity to navigate life's challenges. Additionally, setting small, achievable goals plays a crucial role in rebuilding self-worth. Accomplishing these goals fosters a sense of achievement and reinforces positive self-perception. For example, someone might commit to learning a new skill or volunteering in their community. As they work toward these goals, the incremental progress affirms their capabilities and intrinsic value. This method is effective because it enables individuals to observe tangible results, shifting their focus from feelings of inadequacy to a recognition of their strengths. The urgency in adopting these methods cannot be overstated. The journey to rebuild self-worth demands action and intention. It is an invitation to reclaim your life and potential after the shadows of trauma and negative self-beliefs. Engaging in self-compassion and setting achievable goals fosters an environment where personal growth can flourish, reinforcing an essential truth: you are inherently worthy of love and respect. As we move forward, the next segment will delve into practical exercises that will enhance your self-compassion practice and establish a stronger foundation of self-worth. Embracing these actionable strategies will empower you further on your journey towards healing and transformation. Remember that rebuilding self-worth is not a destination, but a continuous journey, and each step you take is one step closer to embracing the fullness of who you are. Together, we will navigate this path toward self-empowerment and resilience. Now that you understand the significance of rebuilding self-worth, it's time to take actionable steps that will empower you on your journey. The first step is to cultivate self-compassion, allowing yourself to be kinder and more understanding toward your feelings. Begin by setting aside time each day to engage in a self-compassion practice. Find a quiet space where you can reflect. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that it is perfectly normal to struggle and feel vulnerable. A helpful affirmation to start with is, "I am enough, just as I am." Repeat this affirmation multiple times, allowing the message to sink in. Next, delve into the practice of journaling as a means of exploring and challenging your negative beliefs. Grab a notebook and title one page, "My Strengths." Write down at least 5 qualities or achievements that you value about yourself. It can be anything from resilience to kindness. This exercise allows you to focus on your positive traits and create a tangible reminder of your worth. Aim to revisit this list regularly, adding new accomplishments as you recognize them. Acknowledging your strengths not only reinforces your self-worth, but also serves as a source of motivation on days when self-doubt tries to creep in. In addition to journaling, consider creating a self-care plan that encompasses activities that nourish your soul. This could include setting aside time for exercise, engaging in creative pursuits, or spending time in nature. Write down at least 3 self-care activities that resonate with you, scheduling them into your routine as non-negotiable appointments. Engaging in self-care helps cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself and reinforces the idea that you deserve care and attention. Mindfulness practices can also be a game changer in your quest for self-worth. Set aside just a few minutes each day for mindfulness meditation. Focus on your breath, allowing thoughts to come and go without judgment. If negative thoughts arise, acknowledge them and gently redirect your focus back to your breath. This practice enhances your ability to observe your thoughts without attaching negative beliefs to them. As you cultivate mindfulness, you begin to create space between your experiences and your reactions, fostering a more compassionate and forgiving relationship with yourself. As you implement these methods, remember to celebrate small victories. Every time you practice self-compassion, complete a journaling exercise, or engage in self-care, acknowledge your progress. These small wins act as stepping stones toward building a more resilient sense of self-worth. Keep a small jar where you can add notes about your accomplishments or moments of self-kindness. Reviewing these notes regularly can serve as a heartfelt reminder of your growth and the positive changes you're making. As we conclude this chapter, prepare to embark on the next part of your journey. The upcoming chapter will focus on creating emotional resilience, which is essential for navigating life's challenges with confidence and strength. We will explore practical strategies and techniques to fortify your emotional foundation, helping you bounce back from adversities that may arise on your path to recovery. Before we transition, I invite you to share your thoughts and experiences as you work on rebuilding your self-worth. If you found this chapter helpful, please subscribe to Mindset Liberation, like this video, and leave comments or suggestions for topics you want to see in the future. Your perspectives enrich our community and foster a supportive environment where we can all grow together. Let's continue this empowering journey, step by step, toward a life filled with self-acceptance and resilience. Chapter 6: Creating Emotional Resilience for the Future. Emotional resilience is not just a trait, it is a critical skill that can be developed and strengthened over time, allowing individuals to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. In an unpredictable world filled with both inevitable setbacks and triumphs, cultivating emotional resilience equips you with the tools to bounce back, adapt, and thrive. This chapter will delve into the importance of emotional resilience, offering practical strategies that empower you to create a sturdy emotional foundation for the future. The concept of emotional resilience originates from the field of psychology, where researchers have studied the traits and behaviors that enable some individuals to recover from adversity more effectively than others. According to a report by the American Psychological Association, nearly 75% of adults have experienced stress in the past month, with many feeling overwhelmed by life's demands. The prevalence of stress serves as a reminder of the importance of fostering resilience. When you build emotional resilience, you are not only preparing to face difficulties, you are also positioning yourself to pursue opportunities for growth and happiness. Research has shown that emotional resilience is linked to numerous positive outcomes, including increased mental well-being and improved overall health. A study published in the Journal of Health Psychology found that individuals with higher resilience levels experience lower rates of anxiety and depression, as well as a reduced impact of stress on their lives. These findings underscore the urgent need for resilience in today's fast-paced world, where challenges can arise unexpectedly, threatening to derail your progress. To illustrate the power of emotional resilience, consider the story of Lisa, a dedicated professional who faced significant obstacles when her company underwent a merger. The sudden changes left many employees uneasy, leading to job insecurity and increased workloads. While several of her colleagues struggled to cope, Lisa decided to lean into the uncertainty. She articulated her fears and sought support from mentors and peers, using the opportunity to expand her skill set through training. Rather than allowing the stress to overwhelm her, Lisa reframed the situation as a chance for growth. This proactive approach not only allowed her to adapt to new challenges, but also instilled a sense of confidence that carried her through other difficulties in her career. Building emotional resilience allows you to cultivate a mindset that embraces adaptability and perseverance. One key aspect of developing resilience is fostering a growth mindset, as popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. Individuals with a growth mindset view challenges as opportunities for learning rather than insurmountable obstacles. This shift in perspective empowers you to embrace failures as part of your journey while reinforcing the belief that you can develop new skills and overcome adversity with time and effort. In addition, practicing self-care plays a pivotal role in enhancing your emotional resilience. Engaging in physical exercise, pursuing hobbies, and nurturing relationships with family and friends contributes significantly to your overall well-being. According to the World Health Organization, regular physical activity not only improves mood, but also bolsters mental health resilience by reducing stress levels. By creating a balanced self-care routine, you arm yourself with the energy and motivation to face life's hurdles head-on. As we progress in this chapter, our focus will shift to practical exercises and techniques designed to build your emotional resilience. You will learn actionable steps that can help you confront challenges with increased confidence and determination. Cultivating emotional resilience is an ongoing journey that may require patience and persistence, but it is a path filled with immense potential for personal growth and empowerment. Embrace the opportunity to fortify your emotional well-being. The tools you are about to explore will prepare you to not only withstand life's challenges, but to thrive in the face of them. Together, let's take these important steps toward creating a resilient future, one that celebrates your strength and capacity to navigate life's twists and turns. Creating emotional resilience is an integral part of navigating the complexities of life, and the methods used to build this resilience possess profound effectiveness. At its core, resilience is built on the foundation of adaptive coping strategies, which allow individuals to respond positively to adversity. This effectiveness can be traced back to the principles of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which emphasizes the importance of reframing negative thoughts and adopting proactive approaches to challenges. By reshaping our thought patterns, we gain control over our emotional responses, which can significantly alter our experiences during stressful times. Scientific research supports the notion that resilience can be cultivated through specific practices. A study published in the Psychological Science Journal highlights the significant relationship between resilience and adaptive coping strategies. Participants in the study who engaged in mindfulness practices, such as meditation and focused breathing, were observed to develop higher resilience levels. These practices promote emotional regulation and increase awareness of one's feelings, equipping individuals with tools to confront difficulties without becoming overwhelmed. A compelling transformation story is that of Mark, who faced a significant crisis after a sudden job loss. Initially, he spiraled into feelings of inadequacy and despair, wrestling with self-doubt and anxiety. Realizing he couldn't continue down this path, Mark decided to apply the principles he had learned about resilience. He started journaling daily, documenting his thoughts and feelings. This practice allowed him to recognize negative self-talk and reframe it into constructive statements. For instance, rather than berating himself with thoughts like, "I'll never find another job," Mark transformed this into, "I have the skills and experience to find new opportunities." This reframing proved crucial in shifting his mindset from one of hopelessness to one of empowerment. Mark also began to incorporate mindfulness techniques into his daily routine, which helped him cultivate a sense of calm amid chaos. Whether it was through meditation or deep breathing exercises, he trained his mind to focus on the present rather than getting lost in fear of the future. These proactive strategies not only foster emotional resilience, but also illustrate their importance in everyday life. Engaging with the tools of resilience allows individuals to confront adversity with confidence rather than fear. The ability to reframe challenges and maintain emotional regulation can be a game changer, providing a buffer against feelings of helplessness or frustration. Emotional resilience arms you with the capacity to bounce back from setbacks while promoting a mindset that embraces growth and adaptability. Furthermore, the urgency in adopting resilience-building techniques cannot be overstated. In our increasingly fast-paced lives, filled with unexpected stressors, developing resilience is essential for mental well-being. The National Institute of Mental Health states that individuals equipped with resilience are significantly less likely to develop anxiety or depression after experiencing a traumatic event. Understanding this statistic reinforces the notion that resilience is not a merely advantageous trait, but a vital skill set. As we continue exploring the methods for enhancing emotional resilience, you will benefit from practical techniques that can be easily woven into your daily life. Each exercise promotes introspection and proactive behavior, allowing you to cultivate resilience with each step you take. Remember, the strength you build will not just serve as a coping mechanism, but as a wellspring of confidence as you navigate life's unpredictable nature. Together, let's empower you to cultivate the emotional resilience that lays the groundwork for a fulfilling and adaptive life ahead. Having explored the importance of emotional resilience, it's time to take actionable steps that empower you to cultivate this essential quality in your life. Start by assessing your current coping strategies. Take a moment to reflect on how you typically respond to stress and adversity. Write down any recurring patterns or behaviors that may not serve your well-being. This initial assessment allows you to identify areas for improvement, paving the way for growth. Next, implement a daily mindfulness practice to enhance your emotional resilience. Begin by setting aside 5 to 10 minutes each day for mindfulness meditation. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly, bringing your attention to the sensations of your breath. If thoughts arise, acknowledge them without judgment and gently return your focus to your breathing. This practice cultivates emotional awareness and helps you respond to stress with a sense of calm and clarity. As the days progress, aim to gradually increase your meditation time. Celebrate these milestones to reinforce your commitment to resilience. Another practical exercise is the resilience journal. Dedicate a notebook to recording instances when you face challenges or setbacks. For each entry, write down the situation, your initial emotional response, and how you overcame it or plan to. This exercise not only allows you to reflect on your experiences but also highlights your resilience in action. Over time, reviewing your entries will reinforce your ability to navigate difficulties. Additionally, practice reframing negative thoughts as they arise. Use the following structure to guide you. Identify the negative thought, challenge it, and replace it with a more constructive statement. For example, if you think, "I can't handle this," reframe it to, "I'm capable of finding a solution, and I can ask for help if I need it." This simple mind shift empowers you to regain control over your emotions and foster a belief in your abilities. Engaging in physical activity is also a powerful way to build emotional resilience. Aim for a minimum of 30 minutes of exercise at least 3 times a week. Whether it's brisk walking, cycling, or dancing, find an activity you enjoy that elevates your heart rate. Exercise not only boosts your mood through the release of endorphins, but also fosters a sense of accomplishment. After each workout, take a moment to acknowledge the effort you put in and how it contributes to your resilience. As you practice these techniques, aim to recognize the small wins along the way. Each time you engage in mindfulness, write an entry in your resilience journal or successfully reframe a negative thought. Take a moment to congratulate yourself. Celebrating these incremental victories boosts your motivation and reinforces the journey you are on. As we draw this chapter to a close, it's important to look forward to what lies ahead. The next chapter will delve into practical strategies for living freely without the shadow of trauma, providing you with actionable steps to liberate yourself from emotional constraints. Together, we will explore how to embrace a future filled with possibility and joy, breaking free from the past that has held you back. Before we transition, I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences as you work on building your emotional resilience. If you have found value in this chapter, please subscribe to Mindset Liberation, like this video, and leave your comments or suggestions for future discussions. Your engagement helps foster a vibrant community where we can all support one another in our journeys toward emotional freedom. Let's move forward together into this next stage of discovery and empowerment. Chapter 7: Living Freely Without Trauma's Shadow. Breaking free from the lingering shadows of trauma is an empowering journey that reveals the possibility of a brighter, more fulfilling life. living deeply and authentically, unencumbered by past experiences, is not only achievable, but is a fundamental right that every individual deserves. In this chapter, we will explore the steps to establish a life free from the grips of trauma, guiding you toward emotional liberation and renewal. Embracing a future unshackled by previous pain is an inspiring transformation that awaits you. The origins of trauma often trace back to intense, distressing experiences that can leave a lasting imprint on an individual's mental and emotional state. Studies indicate that roughly 60% of adults experience at least one traumatic event in their lifetime, leading many to navigate life through the haze of unresolved pain. This pervasive issue highlights the urgency of addressing trauma's impact on emotional well-being. While trauma can feel overwhelming, recognizing its prevalence can provide comfort. It illuminates that many individuals are on similar journeys toward healing. Research conducted by the National Institute of Mental Health shows that individuals who engage in therapeutic practices aimed at addressing and processing their trauma are significantly more likely to report improved mental health outcomes. These findings underscore the importance of challenging the hold that trauma can have on your life and the potential for personal transformation. Moving beyond trauma is not just possible. It is a journey that countless individuals undertake successfully every day. Take, for instance, the story of Ava, who lived in the shadow of a traumatic childhood filled with instability and neglect. As an adult, she found herself struggling with anxiety and difficulty in forming healthy relationships. Each time she attempted to step into new situations, feelings of fear and inadequacy surged, tethering her to feelings of unworthiness. After participating in a trauma recovery program, Ava began to confront her past head-on. Through therapy and support groups, she steadily developed tools to redefine her narrative. Ava learned to recognize that she was not defined by the trauma she had experienced. Rather, she was a survivor with inherent strength and resilience. The process of living freely without trauma's shadow involves several key components, including acknowledgement, healing, and empowerment. Acknowledging past pain is crucial. This means allowing yourself to feel and process the emotions associated with your experiences. By recognizing how trauma has influenced your life, you set the stage for healing. Healing comes through various approaches, including therapy, mindfulness practices, and building support networks. Establishing connections with others who understand and share similar experiences can provide validation and encouragement. Furthermore, empowerment takes root in understanding that you possess the agency to shape your future. This realization is profoundly liberating. It invites you to reclaim your narrative actively. The stories we tell ourselves hold immense power, and it is vital to replace any self-defeating beliefs with affirming ones that celebrate your strength and potential. Remember, you have the ability to create a life filled with choice and agency. As you embark on your journey toward living freely, envision a life unbound by the emotional weights of the past. Imagine the possibilities that await you when you let go of trauma's influence, opening yourself to new experiences and connections. Each step you take in this direction reinvigorates your sense of self and enhances your overall well-being. In the next section, we will explore practical techniques to support your transformation into a life of freedom and empowerment, providing you actionable strategies to fully step into your new narrative. This exciting chapter promises to equip you with the tools needed to thrive beyond the shadows of the past. You hold the power to craft a life filled with joy, love, and authenticity. It's time to take that first step towards emotional liberation, embracing the beautiful journey that lies ahead. Living free from the shadow of trauma requires not only acknowledgement, but also the active application of effective strategies to foster healing and growth. One of the most powerful methods for achieving this freedom is through the practice of self-compassion. Research shows that self-compassion plays a pivotal role in how we respond to trauma, allowing us to treat ourselves with kindness rather than judgment. Dr. Kristen Neff, a leading researcher in the field, has shown through numerous studies that self-compassion is linked to resilience, emotional well-being, and the ability to cope with adversity. When individuals cultivate self-compassion, They create a nurturing inner dialogue that encourages healing rather than exacerbating suffering. The effectiveness of self-compassion as a tool for overcoming trauma lies in its ability to shift your emotional landscape. Instead of dwelling on feelings of isolation or shame, practicing self-compassion helps you recognize that suffering is a universal experience. This realization can remove the stigma often associated with past trauma, creating a sense of connection with yourself and others. A study published in the Journal of Happiness Studies found that individuals who practiced self-compassion were more likely to report higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction. This emotional resilience nurtures a healthier self-concept, enabling you to confront past traumas with a strength that might have previously felt out of reach. Consider the enlightening journey of Tom, who experienced a traumatic incident during his childhood that marred his sense of worth. For years, Tom battled with feelings of inadequacy and anxiety, which seeped into every aspect of his life. After engaging in a self-compassion workshop, he learned to confront his pain with gentleness rather than self-recrimination. Tom began a daily ritual of writing compassionate letters to himself, acknowledging his struggles and encouraging himself as he would a friend. This practice changed the narrative he had long told himself, allowing him to emerge from the shadows of his past with renewed courage and self-acceptance. Establishing a self-compassion practice is an effective way to break free from trauma's hold. Start small. Begin each day by taking a few moments to check in with your feelings. Acknowledge what you are experiencing without judgment and remind yourself that it's okay to feel this way. Phrases like, "I am doing my best," or "it's all right to struggle," can be particularly grounding. Gradually, as you incorporate self-compassion into your daily routine, you will cultivate a more positive and affirming self-view. Moreover, integrating mindfulness into your self-compassion practices enhances their effectiveness. Engaging in mindfulness allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming embroiled in them. A meta-analysis in the Journal of Clinical Psychology showed that mindfulness practices improve psychological resilience by fostering emotional regulation. By maintaining a present-moment focus, you develop an awareness of triggers without immediate reactions, giving you the space to respond with compassion and clarity. The urgency to adopt these practices cannot be overstated. As the impact of trauma reverberates through life, the time to reclaim agency over your emotional well-being is now. Additionally, by embracing self-compassion, you empower yourself to cultivate a reality defined not by the shadows of the past, but by the possibility of healing and joy. As we move forward, the next section will delve into actionable strategies for fully stepping into a life free from trauma's influence. We will explore techniques that further empower you to shape your narrative and maximize your potential for a fulfilling life. Becoming equipped with these tools will help you not only to transcend the challenges of your past, but also to embrace a future brimming with opportunity. Remember that your journey toward liberation is filled with potential, and you have the strength within you to embark on this transformative path. Together, let's continue cultivating the resilience necessary to live authentically and freely. To fully embrace the freedom from trauma's shadow, it's time to implement actionable steps that will empower you on your journey toward healing. Begin by establishing a daily practice of self-reflection. Set aside at least 10 minutes each day to engage in quiet contemplation. Find a comfortable and safe space where you can focus without interruption. During this time, think about the emotions or memories that surface from your past. Allow yourself to feel these emotions without judgment. It's essential to acknowledge what you're feeling, as this sets a foundation for change. Use this time to ground yourself, breathing deeply and embracing the thoughts that arise. Next, introduce a guided journaling practice into your routine. Each day, write about one experience or feeling related to your trauma. Begin with the phrase, "Today I felt," and express whatever comes to mind. This exercise creates a tangible outlet for your emotions while helping you process your experiences. After writing, reflect on what you've expressed and identify any patterns or key insights that emerge. As you continue this practice, celebrate the fact that you are confronting your fears and take pride in the courage it takes to face these emotions. Another powerful technique to facilitate emotional liberation is visualization. Set aside time each week for a focused visualization session. Sit comfortably with your eyes closed and take a few deep, cleansing breaths. Imagine a future where you are free from the burdens of your past. The weight is lifted and you feel light and empowered. Picture the details, where you are, who is around you, and how you feel in that moment. Allow yourself to dwell in this imagery for several minutes, absorbing the emotions of freedom and joy. This exercise acts as a mental rehearsal for the life you aspire to create, instilling hope and motivation. In addition to these practices, consider cultivating a gratitude routine to shift your focus from past traumas to the present moment. Each evening, write down 3 things for which you are grateful. They can be simple pleasures or significant achievements. By consciously acknowledging the positive aspects of your life, you reinforce the belief that joy is not only possible, but present. This consistent affirmation of gratitude builds resilience over time and nurtures an optimistic outlook. As you engage in these exercises, track your progress and celebrate small wins. Perhaps you notice you're becoming more aware of your emotions or able to express gratitude daily. Document these victories in your journal, highlighting how far you've come. Recognizing your evolution serves as a powerful motivator, reminding you that healing is a continuous journey and reinforcing the idea that you have the agency to transform your life. Additionally, consider connecting with others who share similar experiences. Join support groups or engage in online communities focused on healing from trauma. Sharing your journey and listening to others fosters a sense of belonging and reduces the feelings of isolation that trauma can create. This communal support not only reinforces your commitment to healing, but serves as a valuable exchange of strength and encouragement. Remember, you possess the inner strength to break free from the past and embrace the richness of your potential. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you envision. Let's continue this journey together, nurturing a future defined by healing and joy. In this transformative journey through emotional freedom, how to release trauma's grip on your life, we have explored the profound impact of trauma on our emotional landscape and the steps necessary to reclaim our well-being. From understanding the roots and effects of emotional pain to implementing practical strategies for releasing baggage, rebuilding self-worth, and cultivating emotional resilience, each chapter has provided a roadmap for healing and empowerment. You have learned to confront past wounds with courage, practice self-compassion, and envision a life free from the shadows of your past. By embracing these principles and techniques, you hold the power to transform your mindset and emotions, paving the way for a more fulfilling future. Thank you for taking the time to engage with this content. Your commitment to self-improvement and emotional health is commendable. If you found value in this journey, please take a moment to like this video, leave your thoughts or experiences in the comments, and subscribe to the Mindset Liberation channel for more inspiring content. Together, let's continue fostering a community of support and growth as we move forward on our paths to emotional freedom.